Can space hobbyists track satellites or the International Space Station? Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered about the satellites zipping overhead? If you are curious about whether space hobbyists can track these objects, including the International Space Station, you are in for a treat. The answer is yes, and it is easier than you might think. Space hobbyists can track satellites, including the International Space Station, using a variety of tools and methods. Satellites orbit Earth in predictable paths, which means their positions can be calculated and monitored. This information is available to the public, making it accessible for anyone interested in tracking these fascinating objects. To get started, hobbyists need to understand some basic concepts. Satellites, including the International Space Station, follow specific orbits that can be calculated using publicly available data. This data is often provided in two-line element sets, which describe the satellite's orbit in detail. For tracking, hobbyists typically use radio receivers, antennas, and software to detect satellite signals. Some even visually observe satellites as they pass overhead. This can be a thrilling experience, especially when you spot the International Space Station gliding across the sky. It is important to note the legal and regulatory context surrounding satellite tracking. While tracking satellites does not usually require a license, operating amateur radio equipment does. Hobbyists must have a license and use assigned call signs when transmitting signals. This ensures compliance with national and international regulations. In the United States, the Federal Communications Commission regulates amateur satellite operations. This means that hobbyists must follow specific rules to avoid interference with official satellite operations. However, simply tracking satellites is generally allowed without a license. There are several practical methods for hobbyists to track satellites. One popular method is radio tracking, where hobbyists use amateur radio equipment to receive signals from satellites. This requires knowledge of the frequencies and protocols used by these satellites. Another method is optical tracking, which involves visually observing satellites during their passes. Telescopes can enhance this experience, especially when satellites reflected sunlight. Additionally, there are numerous software tools and applications available that provide real-time tracking data. These tools can give orbital predictions and alerts for satellite passes, including for the International Space Station. From a broader perspective, enabling citizens to track satellites supports transparency and public engagement in space activities. This aligns with national interests in space situational awareness and promotes science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education. Regulations are in place to ensure that hobbyist activities do not interfere with official operations or national security interests. Supporting amateur satellite operations can also foster innovation and international cooperation, showcasing a nation's commitment to space exploration. In summary, space hobbyists can effectively track satellites and the International Space Station using available tools and data. By respecting regulatory frameworks, they can engage in this exciting activity while contributing to a greater understanding of space.